How do we make a quantum leap into our new reality? We're going to talk about this today. This is Tom Kieran with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Welcome back, creators. I want to talk about a quantum leap, the possibility to jump realities. We've talked a little bit about this when we talked about reality transurfing, which we're going to talk about again with Vadim Zeland, wrote that book. And he talks about all possibilities already existing right now. And that the decisions we make, the choices we make, determine the lifeline that we're on. So we've got to make different choices and different intention that leads us to a different lifeline. And you essentially jump lifelines and the hue of your reality changes and your trajectory on your lifeline changes. This is the same idea. This is coming from Divine Matrix by Gregg Braden, which we talked about in our last lesson. I want to build on that last lesson a little bit. And what Gregg says is that what I like about Gregg's viewpoint is he is like Vadim. Vadim's an engineer, Vadim Zeland. Gregg Braden is a scientist, but then comes from the spiritual viewpoint. He's well studied in all the scriptures and ancient texts. And what he was saying during the biblical ethics of the 4th century, we lost a lot of information about this source of creation, where the Bible talks about it, but sort of in an indirect way, talks about using words, like in the King James Version, talks about ask and you shall receive, using the words, where in these lost texts, one of them the lost Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Thomas, which talks about Jesus' teachings, and this Gnostic, it's more of a Gnostic point of view, and that this imagination, the power of imagination, emotion, and prayer, which Neville Goddard talked about in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So again, this is not new. But this idea that imagination, emotion, and prayer, this power is how we create our reality and how we jump basically into a different reality, how we make a quantum leap. How do we do it? Well, every possibility already exists right now. This is the idea that some have the view, some theories are that they all exist and they collapse into one possibility because wherever the less resistance is, wherever there's less energy resistance, it collapses in that reality. But having said that, the whole idea here is that they all exist, and then when you focus with prayer from feeling, prayer from the heart, that's how you change your reality, and that's how you make a quantum leap to a new lifeline or a new reality. So you have the power to focus your consciousness. This is the crux of making a quantum leap. You are this consciousness. You are this I am. We talked about it in Neville Goddard terms as I am. We've talked about it in many different ways, but you have this power to focus your consciousness, to look beyond the illusion of this reality, because it's all illusion. The true reality is that pure consciousness, that unconditioned consciousness. You have the power to do that. You have the power to choose your reality. This gets more along with reality transurfing, this power of setting your attention and choosing what you want. And then you shift that. So essentially a quantum leap is a shift in energy. You shift your energy through feeling, through emotion. Again, you have the image of what you want. This is setting your attention, setting the image of what you want. This is working with the top 3 energy centers that we talked about, the top 3 chakras. And then you have the emotion. You imbue that image, that thought with that emotion, the emotion of love, right? There's really only 2 choices, love or fear. Love-based emotions or fear-based. If you pick fear-based, you will get the reality that you don't want, that you fear most. Your worst expectations, as Vadim would say in reality transurfing, will come true. Instead, you imbue it with loving feelings. This creates, or loving emotion, this creates the feelings from the heart-based feelings. Your heart is very powerful. It has an electromagnetic force that when you imbue these images in the top 3 energy centers with the emotion from the bottom three, the middle energy center, the heart-based one, sends those electromagnetic waves out to the quantum field. This is how you make the leap into the life you want, right? What gets in our way is doubt, negative feelings, losing the faith. Anything that's negative or those low vibrational energy feelings, that's what gets you off track. You have to keep that faith, keep imbuing it with that love. You need to move from wanting to knowing. This is why healings never work for a lot of people. They pray and they say, well, it's not working. It's because if you feel that you need it and you want it, then you're saying to the universe it's not done. Because for a healing to work, you've got to see the health. You've got to see it as already healed. This is the paradox, right, that we talk about often, right? From a need, you got to go from wanting to knowing, from needing to feeling it's already done. This is anything that you want. But if we're talking about healing, especially in that instance, or abundance, you can't go from wanting and needing abundance to having it. You have to go from feeling and knowing that you already have it. It's already you. It's already available to you. So this is from that last teachings of Thomas, Jesus' teachings. This was lost in the edits, the biblical edits of the 4th century, according to Gregg Braden, and then were later found in different other ancient texts, the Sanskrit texts, and so forth. And they were able to get this information. Here are 3 takeaways from some of it. I think there was 114 sayings that Jesus had. They're really sayings in this last. In this Gospel of Thomas, and we'll talk more about this. Part of it is ask without hidden motive. Wow, very direct. Ask without hidden motive, meaning ask without the ego, without attachment to the outcome, without something in it for you. This is really powerful. This is from Jesus, right? These lost texts, this text of Thomas. Gospel of Thomas. Ask without hidden motive, without the ego involved, without attachment, without needing it to be done, right? Whenever the ego gets involved, there's need, there's want, there's desperation, there's attachment. This is where all those other feelings come up, right? And then Jesus goes on to say, be surrounded by your answer. Wow. Very detailed, right? If you compare this to the King James Version, there's none of this. Ask and you shall receive, right, is the crux of that. Be surrounded by your answer. Be surrounded, meaning it's already done. You already have it. The healing's done. The abundance already exists. You're surrounded by it. This is really powerful. And then be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. Woo! This kind of caps it off, right, these last 2. Be enveloped. Be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire. Right, as wish already fulfilled. This goes back to Neville Goddard as well. This is from Jesus. This is from that Gospel of Thomas. These that didn't make the Bible. These were edits, biblical edits from the 4th century that now are being understood. That this is more of a Gnostic viewpoint, and more of a spiritual universe, spiritual standpoint viewpoint. But really, the Bible points to this stuff. It's not specific about it. This is pretty specific, guys. You've got to be what you want to manifest, right? You must have the feeling of abundance, healing, peace, and the answer to your prayers already in your heart. Already in your heart. It's already there. That's, again, imbuing from the heart. The bottom 3 energy centers, the top 3 thought, the bottom 3 emotion, creating the feeling of wish already fulfilled. This gets back to Neville Goddard. Wish already fulfilled. You're already in the place that it's done. This is powerful, guys. This is how you pray. This is how you make a quantum leap, right? It's the only way. The only way to make a quantum leap is leap to a higher level of consciousness. Joe Dispenza talks about it. You've got to be greater than your current feelings and emotions, right? To be that new you, to become that new you in his book. He talks about that, right? Breaking the habit of being you. You've got to be greater than those current feelings that are holding you back. You've got to rise up into a new level of consciousness. You've got to level up, essentially, right, into this new consciousness. So that's what making a quantum leap is. It's really leaping to a new level of consciousness, a healthy you, a wealthy you, a loved you, a married you if you want to be married, or in a relationship, a you in a relationship, right? Whatever it is, you traveling the world, you've got to walk in that consciousness. You've got to feel it though, not just think about it. Thinking about it is not enough. They're very clear on this. The ancients talk about thought's important. The ancients point this out. Thought's very important, right? You've got to have a clear intent. Vadim Zeland says it, a clear intent. You've got to have that. However, you've got to imbue it with feelings from the heart, those heart-based feelings, that compassion that we talked about, right? The ancients talked about compassion as being the thing that holds this web of energy in the universe together. Not compassion so much of feeling bad for somebody, but compassion coming from love, coming from that connectedness, coming from that oneness. This is how you create, this is how you make a quantum leap. This is how you make a leap in consciousness, guys. This is how you create your ideal life, yeah? We'll talk more about this. This is Tom Kieran with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification button so you never miss a video. And guys, love our videos. Like them, comment, share them. And there's more to come. This is Tom at Be Something Wonderful. Until next time.